Hello, demigods, monsters, and gods alike. This is the Olympus Report. I'm pretty lucky in that I live fairly close to New York City, and because of this, it's allowed me to experience a lot of things, such as plays. One of them being the Lightning Thief musical that was off-Broadway a couple years ago. If you didn't get to see it, don't worry, I have you covered. Here's everything you need to know about the Lightning Thief musical. Let me start off by saying that it's very cheesy, but that's exactly what a musical should be. If you're a fan of the books and you're a fan of musicals, you're gonna have a great time. It's funny, capturing, and exciting. And for an off-Broadway production, it's incredibly well done. And some of the jokes really had me cracking up. I'm gonna be splitting this review up into different parts: story, songs, design, acting, and Easter eggs. First, I'm gonna start off with the story. And before we get the new adaptation from Disney+, this was the best adaptation that we had. It pretty much gave us everything we wanted that the movies didn't. It hit all the major points. Here's everything that stayed the same. Percy is an outcast at school. Grover is Percy's only friend. Nancy Bobofit is nasty. Mr. Brunner explains the Olympian gods on the field trip. Percy fights Mrs. Dodds. No one remembers her. Smelly Gabe is the worst. Percy and his mom go to the beach. Sally explains the story of how she met Percy's father. Grover finds them and is being chased by the Minotaur. They get chased to camp. Percy's mom goes poof. Percy defeats the Minotaur and is introduced to Camp Half-Blood. Mr. D is Mr. D. Annabeth and Percy have tension. Luke takes Percy under his wing. Sacrificing food to the gods. Great prophecy is mentioned. Percy doesn't know who his father is. Clarice is a bully. The whole capture the flag scenario. Annabeth uses Percy. Quests are explained. Annabeth figures out who Percy's father is first. Percy is claimed by Poseidon and Mr. D wants to turn him into a dolphin. The Pact of the Big Three is mentioned. Zeus's lightning bolt is stolen and he thinks Percy did it. Percy gets the prophecy from the Oracle and must go to the underworld. They think Hades stole the bolt. Percy really only goes to save his mom, and Annabeth and Grover go with him. Annabeth has been waiting for a quest her whole life and also calls Percy Seaweed Brain. Annabeth has a crush on Luke, and Luke gives Percy the flying shoes. Furies attack the bus explodes. They meet Auntie M, who is really Medusa, and chop her head off. Percy sends the head in a box to Mount Olympus. Annabeth and Percy connect on the quest and become friends. They get train tickets west and go to the Archway. They meet Ares and he gives them the backpack. They get trapped in the Lotus Hotel and Casino but escape and then head to LA. Percy dreams of Kronos. The story of Thalia is explained. Grover was the satyr in charge but failed. Thalia gets turned into a pine tree. The three question if Hades is really the one who stole the bolt, and then go to DOA recording studios. They bribe the guide and get past Cerberus. The shoes drag them to the Tartarus entrance. They confront Hades. Hades really didn't steal the bolt, and then they escape the underworld. The bolt was in the backpack from Ares the whole time. Percy swears to come back for his mother. They figure out that Ares tricked them. Percy fights Ares and retrieves the bolt. Percy gives Medusa's head to his mom. Percy goes back to camp where Luke is revealed to be the mastermind behind the whole situation. Luke then tries to kill Percy, but escapes. Now, while this adaptation did get a lot right, they also changed a couple things or left things completely out. Percy gets riptide, but gets to keep it after the fight with Mrs. Dodds. Clarice tries to shove Percy's head in the toilet during the Capture the Flag game. There's no Hellhound attack. Percy never gives the flying shoes to Grover. Percy is never made out to be a fugitive. There's no pink poodle, instead it's a squirrel. Percy doesn't fall off the arch and meet the Nereid. Annabeth teaches Percy to fight instead of Percy just being a natural, kinda like in the movie. There's no water park, Ares just offers to give them a ride on his motorcycle. No visit to the beach, so no pearls. There's no Krusty, and since Percy never gave the shoes to Grover, he's the one that's almost dragged into Tartarus. Hades' helm was never stolen, and Hades actually wants the bolt and wants to start war. Something that is very different from the book and is actually more similar to the movie. Percy and Annabeth start to doubt each other and blame each other for stealing the bolt. And then Percy just miraculously finds a seashell in his backpack that opens one big portal to escape the underworld. And if this is the case, why couldn't Percy's mom just also walk through the portal? Percy never goes to Olympus. Poseidon just shows up in LA and takes the bolt back. There's no appearance of Zeus. And Sally just miraculously comes back from the underworld, which doesn't make sense because in the book, Hades returned her because Percy rescued the helm. But the helm was never stolen in the musical, so I don't know why Hades returned Percy's mom. Sally and Poseidon also have this weird reunion, and everyone confronts Luke at the end, not just Percy, which in theory should have made him escaping more difficult, but he still manages to get away. Overall, these are small changes compared to what the movie did, so it's still an enjoyable watch regardless. The runtime is about 2 hours, the same as the movie, but I believe the musical is able to stay closer to the book's story than the movie because of the songs. The songs explain so much in a short amount of time. And let me tell you, these songs slap. I'm not gonna lie, these songs kind of gave me a Disney's Hercules vibe, but I enjoyed it every step of the way. Most characters are introduced with a song, and it really just works for this format. Up first, we have The Day I Got Expelled.
That don't include me. Yeah, the gods are real, and they have kids, and those kids have issues.
And this song does a great job of explaining about the gods and their relationships with their kids, as well as explaining Percy's characters, things that took chapters in the book to explain. Next is Strong, and this song explains all about how Sally met Poseidon, as well as how Percy is resentful towards his father for never being there for him. And honestly, it's just such a great duet between mother and son, and it really shows their bond.
Issues they're dealing with, and there's a place you need to go.
Another Terrible Day explains everything you need to know about Mr. D, and it is honestly just so fun and so catchy.
Just another terrible day. I'm the god of wine and I'm dying of thirst.
Wait, did you say you're a god?
Their sign explains more about the gods and why they are the way they are, as well as introduces the great prophecy.
And if they don't, then no one can blame you for holding a grudge. So hey, you're not alone. I'm gonna be your counselor.
Put You in Your Place captures Clarice perfectly and takes us through Capture the Flag, and is really fun and exciting.
Yeah, you missed the boat. It's gonna be bloody murder, Sharon. I'll put you in. I'll put you in your place.
The Campfire Song. No, not that one, but this one is just as good. It tells us about how the gods are absent and the children really resent them for this, but yet at the same time they yearn for their approval. This song also reveals more about Annabeth and her past.
She's smart and she's wise. She's sworn off gluten and she's sworn off guys. But if she came to camp, it'd be a surprise. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, and my stepmom, she hates me and my...
The Oracle gives us the prophecy and explains the Oracle's story.
You shall find what was stolen and see it restored.
Good Kids gives us more about Percy's character. And wow, is it powerful. The raw emotion from this song is something else. We hear all of his struggles and his sorrows.
Where I can stay till it's back, your back, Percy. Now go away. I never tried to do.
Killer Quest moves us further into the story and moves us into the quest part of the story.
It's all not semi.
It's up to us, so let me try my best.
Lost is hilarious and catchy as hell.
We're lost in the woods, somewhere in New Jersey, and we're never gonna make it to LA.
My Grand Plan is Annabeth's solo and is just as powerful as Percy's. It tells us all Annabeth yearns for.
Is that I will be remembered. My grand plan, just to wait and see.
Drive takes us on a montage of the quest and gives us a lot of info.
Stay alive. Whoever made the story, but the road is still before me. So pedal to the metal and drive.
The tree up on the hill explains Thalia's story.
Blood hill, a cold wind blew, dark and chill, for nothing would slake its wrathful will. We had to.
DOA gives us all the information we need about the underworld.
And you're here to stay. Yeah, you're stuck forever, never get away.
Son of Poseidon is so powerful. It's the moment that Percy comes into his own and accepts who he is and is proud to be a son of Poseidon.
I'm the son of Poseidon. We know you're to blame.
The Last Day of Summer covers Luke's betrayal and the last couple chapters of the book.
Luke! If it isn't the big hero, I've barely seen you since I got back.
Bring on the Monsters concludes our story, and wow, does it go out with a bang.
Bring on the monsters, bring on the real world.
Not only do the songs slap in this production, but the design is incredible as well. It does such a good job of taking us from one place to the next. I really loved the dream sequence. It just transitioned so seamlessly. The monster battles were also incredibly well done. The stunts, choreography, it was all incredible. The Minotaur battle looked incredible. Like I said, the choreography was amazing. The fights and the dances all flowed together. The actors all did an incredible job. Percy wasn't quite book Percy, but he also wasn't quite movie Percy. He was somewhere in the middle. And for this adaptation of the story, it just really worked. The emotions were there and raw. I also really loved Sally. She came off as caring and powerful. Chiron is definitely played for laughs, but it works. Grover was hilarious as always, and Annabeth was strong yet vulnerable. Just really a great job all around. And we even got a couple Easter eggs thrown into the mix. We're introduced to Selena Beauregard and Charlie Beckendorf, who actually weren't introduced until the later books in the Percy Jackson series, and we even get a hint at their future relationship. We get a great sequence where our heroes visit the Hoover Dam and crack some dam jokes, which technically didn't happen to the Titan's curse, but I loved it all the same because I was laughing hysterically. And I'm not 100% sure on this one, but I think Bianca and Nico might have popped up in the Lotus Hotel and Casino scene. Overall, the musical is fantastic and a great time. And if you haven't had a chance to see it, I highly recommend it. It actually was back in New York this past weekend, but if you didn't get a chance to check it out, I've included the link to where you can watch it on YouTube in the description below. Let me know what your favorite song is, and as always, until next time, demigods, please stay safe.